sing Filipino say. Pedro Calungsod is not only the pride of the Visayas or the Cebuanos, he's also the pride of Filipinos all over the world. He's the pride of the Philippines, not only Manny Pacquiao, but more than Manny Pacquiao. He's the pride of Christianity. He's the pride of all the Catholics. Today in Rome, Pope Benedict XVI raised 7 new saints in the roster of our canon. That's why it is called Canonization. That from this time on, the names of those 7 saints, 2 coming from the US, and 1 originated from here, from upstate New York. First, Native American Indian, was declared as a saint. So, from this time on, those names will be put in our Catholic calendars and to be venerated as saints. And we are lucky that we have one, San Pedro Calungsod. Christianity landed in Philippine archipelago the year 1521. That was the time, it was the year that Christianity was first embraced by the Filipino, started with Kumabo, the tribe of Cebu. Imagine, after 151 years, the seed of Christianity being spread in the land of the Philippines produced a young, energetic, full of potential martyr and saint in the person of Pedro Calungsod. Let us look and let us learn on the life of San Pedro Calungsod. I would like to use the symbolism of the image that is before us. They said that this is the closest image of San Pedro Calungsod. That's why, through the permission and through the authority given by the former Cardinal of Cebu, Cardinal Law, this was the image being sent to Italy, to Rome, to the image of our saint. And what are those symbolisms that we could learn lesson from the life of San Pedro Calungsod? First of all, look at the feature of our saint. He is an image of a humble young man. At the age of 17, he was killed as a martyr. A humble origin. Why I call a humble origin? Because as a teenage native of Visayas, there was very little information known about him. There's no record who are the parents of San Pedro Calungsod. And there's no distinct place where in the Visayas San Pedro originated. Maybe in Leyte, maybe in what are those other cities of Iloilo. But they use the place of Cebu because all those cities and places were under the patronage of Cebu during that time. It's like an archdiocese. And that's why all the documents and even be found in Cebu. And that's why the original name given to him, San Pedro of Cebu. San Pedro de Cebu. So that is his humble beginning. You do not know his origin, nor his parents and his family, although there are so many people claiming now being his relative. And what is the source of the history of San Pedro Calungsod? We always shared in the biography of the Jesuit priest, Father Jacob Luis de San Torres. So it is through his biography that the story of San Pedro Calungsod are taken. And thank you very much for the source, to the wonderful effort of Father Alberto Jesus Alino Lason, the relative of our Sister Dina Quiroz. We started the research about the life of San Pedro Calungsod. So that is the humble beginning of our new saint. And what are the symbolisms that we could find here? The first is the Christiana, or Doctrina Christiana, the Christian doctrine that contain the teaching of the Catholic Church. So, and it is the symbolism that Saint San Pedro Calungsod was a catechist, not only a sacristan. He was a voluntary catechist, young catechist during that time. It is said in the history that the Jesuit missionaries, they were picking young men to be voluntary catechists during that time. So under the patronage of the Jesuit missionaries, so St. Pedro Calungsod was one of the youngest voluntary catechists during the time. He started to teach the Catholic or Christian faith at the age of 14. The second symbolism is the symbol of rosary. In the original image brought in Italy, there was the rosary. I do not know, maybe they forgot to put the rosary when it was bought from the Philippines. So there is a rosary in the hand of San Pedro Calungsod, and this signifies his deep devotion to our mother, the patroness of the Philippines. The third symbolism is the white skirt and the palm frond. This is the palm leaves that symbolizes what we call martyrdom. So in the biography of St. Pedro Calungsod, he was martyred with Father Jacob Luis San Torres in Marianas, which is now the present Guam. So together with Father Pedro Luis San Torres, they went to Marianas to proclaim the gospel, to catechize the native of that place. And it was happened that during their mission, in the first place that they've gone in Marianas, they were persecuted by the native. It so happened that when they baptized the children, they all died. And there was this Chinese man who told the chieftain that the water that they were using in baptism, there was a poison, and that's why they were persecuted by the chieftain. And then they transferred to another part of Guam, and it was there that they faced their martyrdom, to the hands of the chieftain named Matapa. I don't know if he's also a Filipino, migrated to Guam, because the name of Filipino, Matapa. In English, this means brave. and to the hands of these chieftain matabang that San Pedro Calungsod and blessed blessed Xavier met their martyrdom. So that what this palm and the white shirt symbolize, that he's a martyr of faith. In the gospel today, Jesus is telling us that for us to participate and share in His own glory, what are the requirements to share in the glory of Jesus? First, can you drink my cup of suffering? And what is the meaning of that? That we are called by Jesus to be martyrs, to be witness to Christ, by giving up our lives, by offering our own blood, by offering our suffering, by carrying our crosses. So that is the meaning of Jesus when He said, can you drink my cup? Can you receive the baptism that I have to receive? And that is the suffering. Remember that the glory of God, the divine glory, culminated and happened on that cross. That is the only way that we could partake and share in the divine, in the honor and the glory of God. To offer ourselves as martyrs, not necessarily a blood martyrs. There is what we call dry martyrs, who are those considered to be dry martyrs. People who don't have to shed their own blood, but continue in partaking and sharing in the suffering of Jesus in the cross. For example, those faithful husbands carrying their wives, those faithful wives who are carrying their husbands and their family, those people who are being persecuted for the sake of faith without shedding their own blood. We call it dry martyrs. And yet, all of us, when we were baptized, we share in the very mission of Jesus, to be witnesses, to be martyrs, and to bring the good news of salvation to the world. The next symbolism is what? We have the skirt, we have the palm, we have the rosary, we have the book. Do you know which is the last one? Have you observed the image? What is the position of San Pedro? One foot is slightly raised. You see? And what is the meaning of that? That he was ready to go wherever he will be sent as a missionary. A missionary on the go. Brothers and sisters, it is at the cross that today is also the World Mission Sunday.